What we're looking at is a Fender Classic Series 60 Stratocaster, and this is in the Cerulean Blue, which is kind of a little bit rare color. This was made in 2015, and they only made this color for 1 year. It's a special run for Guitar Center. They call them car colors, and they're all kind of like retro. It's kind of close to a Daphne blue, but it is different, and it's pretty cool looking. I've just gone through and polished the frets on this guy and cleaned the fretboard, ready for a setup now. So I sighted down the neck on this, and I can already tell it's got a ton of relief, more than I want to start out with. So we're going to just take off the neck because I have to get at the truss rod adjustment at the base of the neck. These are truss rod adjustment on this, and so we'll loosen a little bit and then tighten, and yeah, it's pretty loose. Okay, let's see where that puts us. I just put the neck back on, measured the relief. It's still more relief than I want. You can kind of get fast at doing this. You know, vintage necks are a pain in the ass because you have to keep taking them off to do this, but put the capo on, first fret. What I do is the same number of turns on each string, so 3 turns, loose, flip it over so the capo's hanging off the edge of the table. Sometimes there's some string tension there. Very carefully turn it over. I don't even bother taking the screws out all the way. It's not going to hurt anything. Get at your truss rod adjustment. You want to flatten it out a little more. Okay, that was maybe a little more than half a turn, maybe 3/4. Flip it back over and tighten it. You do need the hand tighten at the end. I don't like the drill to kind of tighten too much. I like to do it by hand so I see just how tight they are. And now you still got the capo on there keeping the strings in place. Just tighten 3 turns because that's how much you loosened, and you'll at least be close to in tune. I'm always trying to get faster at the process of taking off the neck and that kind of stuff, because sometimes you have to do it several times to get the truss rod where you want it. Now that it's tuned up, you can just check where that relief's at. The way I do it, fret at the 17th or where the neck meets the body, and I measure at the 8th. And you can also check on the other side of the neck. That'll tell you if you've got about even measurement and if there's any twist in the neck. So I went from about 0.010 way down to about 0.004. Yeah, 0.004. That might be too flat, but I don't know. We'll see. That sounds okay. The action's just a little bit low. It's a 0.50. So I'll bring the action up a tiny bit. Another thing that can make setups faster for you is getting one of these like little screwdrivers that has attachments for hex, because that way you don't have to use those little hex wrenches. Not as easy to handle as something like this, where you can just go across and do it like a screwdriver kind of. Just bringing everything up a tiny bit. Keeping those saddles at a slight angle so they follow the radius of the neck, which is 7.25 on this guitar, by the way. And of course, tune up After you set the action, it's going to throw it all off. I check down first by the nut. Just to see if it's buzzing down there. Sounding okay. And then just work your way up the neck. This is sounding pretty good at the moment. A real flat neck, but not hearing much buzzing yet. And just bending around the neck to see if things are fretting out or not sustaining, but I'm just going out of tune, but this is well on its way. It needs to be intonated pretty badly, it sounds like, though. Well, the high E was almost right on. Something weird though. High E's sitting a little high. It's higher than its buddies. It's about 0.070. Everybody else is 0.60. I wanted to mention that I did this off camera just to make the video shorter, but I felt that there wasn't quite enough relief in the neck, so I removed the neck, loosened the truss rod again, and we're sitting now at 0.007 in relief, and that kind of made all the strings just ring a little better, play a little better. I'm just going to check out where the springs are set out in this. The tremolo's sitting up at a little bit of an angle. In general, when I'm doing a setup, I don't know the playing specifications of the player. I'm just looking for a good general setup. I like to have the tremolo sitting flat to the body. This one's just sitting up at a little bit of an angle. Not a big deal, but I can see that I can push it with my hand. That means if my hand's resting there while I'm playing, it might affect the tuning, and I can see that there is in fact kind of a little more space between the claw here and the body than I usually leave, so I'll just tighten this guy up a little bit. And sometimes that brings it down flush with the body, not always. Still got a little space. So it's tighter now. And sometimes check out the screws on this 6-screw type bridge. The two on the edge, you can tighten them to a certain point, and then you get diminishing returns. It starts to bring it up actually at some point, but this time it's bringing it down, so it's almost flat to the body now. And I like to have most of the other screws not all the way tightened down, but tighten them down and then just loosen half a turn, something like that. Now this is sitting almost right flush on the body, and it's pretty hard to move it too much, so that'll help stabilize tuning on this guy. Okay, got the string height all nice, got it all intonated. Sounding good. Just gonna check the electronics. All the pots sound clean. The volume of the bridge pickup, middle, neck. The neck pickup's sitting down a little low and maybe sounds just a little weak. Can just touch that up. To sum up what we did here, let's see, it's the 16th of March. This guitar has 10s on it. We checked the electronics, checked neck relief, changed the strings, polished the frets, set string height, set intonation, checked pickup height, polished the guitar, down-tuned it for shipping. The string height is set at 0.060 at the 12th. Neck relief is 0.006 measured at the 8th fret. Don't forget to subscribe if you've made it this far. I really appreciate it. Thank you.